Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and feel the weight of your body settling into this space. You've arrived here tonight not by accident, but by a calling that your soul has been whispering. Perhaps you've been struggling with money, feeling like no matter how hard you work, abundance remains just out of reach. Maybe you've tried everything, the strategies, the plans, the positive thinking, yet something deeper feels misaligned. I'm Dr.
Bruce Lipton, and I want you to know that what you're experiencing isn't failure. It's not a lack of worthiness or capability. What you're experiencing is the profound truth that money, like everything in this universe, is energy. And energy responds not to your actions alone, but to your inner state of being. Tonight, we're going to explore something that most people never discover, that your relationship with money is actually a relationship with yourself. Every dollar that flows through your life carries information about your beliefs, your cellular memories, your ancestral patterns, and most importantly, your current vibrational frequency. You see, your consciousness acts like a radio tower, constantly broadcasting a signal into the quantum field. This signal contains everything you believe about yourself, about money, about what you deserve, about what's possible. And the universe, in its infinite intelligence, responds to that signal with mathematical precision. Most people think that if they just work harder, save more, or find the right opportunity, their financial situation will change. But here's what 25 years of epigenetic research has taught me. Your external world is always a reflection of your internal world. Your bank account is not separate from your beliefs. Your income is not separate from your identity. Your financial flow is not separate from your emotional state. Right now, as you listen to these words, your subconscious mind is processing millions of bits of information. It's running programs that were installed in the first 7 years of your life, when your brain was in a theta state, the same state you're entering now as we speak. These programs are like software running in the background, automatically creating your financial reality without your conscious awareness. But here's the beautiful truth. Just as these programs were installed, they can be rewritten. Just as your current financial frequency was created, it can be transformed. Your nervous system, your cellular structure, your very DNA responds to new information when it's delivered in the right state of consciousness. Tonight is not about positive thinking or wishful manifestation. Tonight is about remembering who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning. It's about reconnecting with the abundant nature of your being, not as something you need to achieve, but as something you already are. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. With each exhale, allow yourself to release the struggle. With each inhale, allow yourself to receive the truth that abundance is your birthright. You are not separate from the creative force that spins galaxies and grows forests. You are an expression of that same intelligence, and that intelligence never experiences lack. Your financial challenges are not punishments. They are invitations to remember your power. They are opportunities to align with a frequency that has been waiting patiently for you to tune in. And that frequency is already here, already available, already broadcasting from the depth of your being. As we journey together tonight, allow yourself to be curious rather than desperate. Allow yourself to receive rather than chase. Allow yourself to remember that the energy of money responds not to your need, but to your inner state of wholeness. Let me share something with you that might surprise you. In my laboratory, I've observed how a single cell responds to its environment. Place that cell in a petri dish with toxic chemicals, and it will shrink, close off, and go into survival mode. Place that same cell in a nourishing environment, and it will expand, open up, and thrive. Your relationship with money works exactly the same way. Your beliefs create the environment in which your financial life either thrives or survives. And most people are unknowingly creating a toxic financial environment through beliefs they inherited, beliefs they never consciously chose. Right now, take a moment to scan your body. Notice where you feel tension, where you feel contraction. Often these physical sensations are your body's way of showing you where limiting beliefs are stored. Your cells don't lie. They hold the truth of what you really believe beneath the surface of your conscious mind. Perhaps when you were young, you heard phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that," or "Rich people are greedy." Maybe you witnessed your parents fighting about money. or felt the stress in the household when bills arrived. Your developing nervous system absorbed all of this as truth about how money works in the world. But here's what your child mind couldn't understand then, and what you're ready to understand now. Those weren't universal truths about money. Those were simply the beliefs of the people around you, beliefs that they inherited from the people around them. Money itself has no inherent qualities. It's neutral energy that takes on the characteristics of the consciousness that interacts with it. Your financial DNA, the core programming that runs your money life, was written not in your genes, but in your beliefs. And beliefs, unlike genetic code, can be rewritten at any moment when you access the right state of consciousness. Feel your heart beating in your chest. This heart of yours is not just a pump. It's an electromagnetic generator that creates a field 5,000 times stronger than your brain. When your heart is in a state of coherence, when you feel gratitude, appreciation, or love, it sends signals throughout your body that literally change your genetic expression. This is not metaphor. This is measurable science. When you align your heart with the feeling of already being abundant, your cells receive that information and begin expressing genes associated with growth, expansion, and creativity. Your nervous system shifts from survival mode to thrival mode. But when your heart is in a state of incoherence, when you feel fear, lack, or unworthiness around money, your cells receive that information and express genes associated with protection, contraction, and scarcity. You literally become biologically programmed for financial struggle. Tonight, we're going to help your cells remember a different program. We're going to feed your nervous system new information about who you are and what you deserve. We're going to create coherence between your conscious desires and your subconscious beliefs. Breathe deeply and imagine for a moment that every cell in your body is listening to this conversation. Because they are. Your cells have intelligence. They respond to your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs about yourself, and your possibilities. What if, instead of telling your cells the story of financial struggle, you began telling them the story of your natural abundance? What if, instead of programming them with fear about money, you programmed them with trust in your ability to receive? Your financial DNA is not fixed. It's fluid, responsive, waiting for new instructions. And those new instructions come not from your thinking mind, but from your feeling heart, especially when delivered in this receptive state between waking and sleeping. Allow yourself to feel just for a moment what it would be like if money flowed to you as naturally as breath flows through your lungs. Not because you forced it or chased it, but because you aligned with it. Because you remembered that you and abundance are made of the same energy. Imagine, if you will, that you are floating in an ocean. But this is not an ocean of water. This is an ocean of pure potential, pure intelligence, pure creative possibility. Scientists call this the quantum field, the invisible matrix from which all matter emerges, and to which all matter returns. Right now, as you rest here, you are not separate from this field. You are an expression of it, a temporary configuration of its infinite energy. And this field, this ocean of potential, contains every possibility that has ever existed or ever could exist, including every possible version of your financial reality. In the quantum realm, there is no scarcity. There are no limitations based on your past, your background, or your current circumstances. There are only infinite possibilities waiting to collapse into your three-dimensional experience based on your observation. And observation, in quantum terms, means your attention combined with your expectation. This might sound abstract, but let me make it practical for you. Every time you focus your attention on lack, on what's missing, what's not working, what you don't have, you are literally observing that reality into existence. Your attention is creative force. Your expectation is the magnetic field that draws possibilities from the quantum field into your lived experience. But here's the beautiful paradox. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words or even your thoughts. It responds to your state of being. It responds to the coherent signal that emerges from the alignment of your heart, your mind, and your gut. What the ancients called your three centers of intelligence. Feel your breath moving through your body. As you do, imagine that each breath is drawing from this quantum field of infinite abundance. You are not breathing air, you are breathing possibility. You are not just surviving. You are constantly creating your reality from the field of all potential. Most people live their entire lives unaware that they are creators, believing instead that they are victims of circumstances beyond their control. They look at their bank account and think it's separate from their consciousness. They look at their job and think it's separate from their vibration. They look at opportunities and think they're separate from their state of being. But quantum physics has proven what mystics have always known. The observer and the observed are not separate. Your consciousness is not separate from your reality. Your inner state is not separate from your outer world. The energy of money is not separate from the energy of who you are being in each moment. Tonight, as we speak, the quantum field is responding to you. It's reading the signal of your heart, the frequency of your thoughts, the vibration of your deepest beliefs about yourself and your possibilities. And based on that information, it's organizing circumstances, people, and opportunities in ways that will match your inner state. This is why trying to change your financial situation through action alone often feels like pushing against an invisible force. You're trying to create new results from old patterns, new outcomes from old vibrations. But when you change your inner state first, when you align with abundance at the cellular level, the quantum field has no choice but to reorganize itself to match your new frequency. Allow yourself to feel this truth in your body. You are not separate from the creative intelligence that moves galaxies and grows forests. You are that intelligence, temporarily focused into this human experience. And that intelligence has never known lack, has never experienced limitation, has never doubted its ability to create whatever it needs. The quantum field of abundance is not something you need to access or connect to. You are already swimming in it. You are already one with it. The question is not whether abundance is available to you. It always is. The question is whether you are available to abundance. Breathe deeply and let yourself rest in this knowing. Infinite possibilities exist in this moment, and your consciousness is the creative force that selects which possibilities become your reality. There's a frequency that most humans carry without realizing it. A frequency so common that it feels normal. So pervasive that it feels like reality itself. This is the frequency of scarcity, the vibrational signature of not enough. Feel it for a moment. You know this frequency well. It's the tightness in your chest when bills arrive. It's the anxiety in your stomach when you check your bank balance. It's the voice in your head that calculates and worries and plans for a future that never seems to have enough. This frequency was not born in you. You learned it. You absorbed it from a world that has forgotten its abundant nature, from a culture that measures worth in dollars and defines success by accumulation. You picked it up like a radio picks up a signal, and then you began broadcasting it yourself. But here's what you need to understand. This scarcity frequency is not serving you. It's not protecting you or motivating you or preparing you for reality. It's actually creating the very experiences you're trying to avoid. When you vibrate at the frequency of scarcity, you literally magnetize scarcity into your life. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between an imagined threat and a real one. When you worry about money, your body responds as if you're being chased by a predator. Stress hormones flood your system. Your heart rate increases. Your digestive system shuts down. Blood flow is redirected away from the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for creativity, intuition, and higher thinking. In this state, you cannot access your full intelligence. You cannot perceive opportunities that are right in front of you. You cannot make decisions from wisdom. You can only make decisions from fear. And decisions made from fear always create more of what you're afraid of. Tonight, we're going to help you release this frequency, not by fighting it or pushing it away, but by acknowledging it with compassion and then choosing something different. This scarcity frequency has been trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. Thank it for its service, and then let it know that you're ready to try a different approach. Breathe deeply into your belly. As you do, scan your body for any areas that feel tight or contracted. These are the places where scarcity has been stored in your cellular memory. Don't try to fix or change these sensations. Simply breathe into them with curiosity and kindness. Imagine that your breath is like warm sunlight, gently melting these contractions from the inside out. With each exhale, you're releasing old patterns that no longer serve you. With each inhale, you're creating space for something new to emerge. The scarcity frequency thrives on the belief that there's not enough. Not enough money, not enough opportunities, not enough time, not enough resources. But this belief contradicts everything we know about the universe. Look at nature. Trees don't compete for sunlight. They simply grow toward it. Rivers don't worry about running out of water. They simply flow. The earth doesn't hoard its abundance. It freely gives of itself in endless cycles of renewal. You are part of this same creative intelligence. You are made of the same elements as the stars. You are animated by the same force that powers the sun. Why would this intelligence create a universe of abundance and then make you the one exception to experience lack? The scarcity frequency is simply a misunderstanding, a case of mistaken identity. You forgot that you are not separate from the abundance that surrounds you. You forgot that you are not competing for limited resources, but are instead a unique expression of unlimited creative potential. As you continue breathing, allow yourself to feel your connection to the infinite supply that flows through all of life. You don't have to earn this connection. You don't have to be worthy of this supply. You simply have to remember that you are already part of it, already one with it, already an expression of its abundant nature. Let the scarcity frequency dissolve like sugar dissolves in water, not through force, but through a natural process of integration and transformation. Place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. This organ in your chest is far more than a pump circulating blood through your body. Your heart is an electromagnetic generator, creating an energy field that extends 8 to 10 feet in all directions around you. This field carries information about who you are, what you believe, and what you're ready to receive. Every emotion you feel changes the pattern of your heart's electromagnetic field. When you feel fear about money, your heart generates a chaotic, incoherent signal that literally pushes abundance away from you. But when you feel gratitude, appreciation, or the quiet confidence of already being abundant, your heart creates a coherent, harmonious field that magnetizes prosperity toward you. This is not metaphysical theory. This is measurable science. We can actually see these heart rhythms on instruments, and we can observe how they change based on your emotional state. When your heart is coherent, it creates a cascade of positive effects throughout your body and mind. Stress hormones decrease. DHEA, the anti-aging hormone, increases, and your nervous system shifts into a state of optimal performance. But here's what most people don't realize. This coherent heart state is also your most powerful attractor field for abundance. When your heart is broadcasting coherence, you naturally align with people, opportunities, and circumstances that match that frequency. Right now, as you focus on your heartbeat, you have the opportunity to consciously choose what signal you want to broadcast. Your heart doesn't automatically generate coherence. It responds to your conscious intention and attention. Begin to breathe a little more slowly and deeply. As you inhale, imagine you're breathing directly into your heart. As you exhale, imagine you're breathing out through your heart. This is called heart-focused breathing, and it's one of the most powerful tools for creating coherence in your electromagnetic field. Now, as you continue this heart-focused breathing, I want you to activate a feeling of appreciation, not for anything specific, just pure appreciation as a quality of your being. Feel grateful that your heart is beating, that your lungs are breathing, that you're alive in this moment. Let this appreciation fill your chest and radiate outward through your electromagnetic field. This feeling of appreciation is your heart's natural language of abundance. When you sustain this feeling, your heart begins to entrain your entire nervous system, creating a state of coherence that ripples through every cell of your body. Your brain waves synchronize with your heart rhythms. Your hormone levels optimize, your immune system strengthens, and something else happens. Something that can't be measured by instruments but can be felt by your whole being. You begin to vibrate at the frequency of receiving, not receiving from a place of need or desperation, but receiving from a place of alignment with your abundant nature. Most people have their electromagnetic field set to broadcast scarcity without realizing it. Their heart field is constantly sending out signals of worry, fear, and lack. And then they wonder why abundance doesn't flow into their lives. They're literally repelling what they want through the incoherent signal they're broadcasting. But you can change this right now. You can consciously choose to broadcast a different signal. You can train your heart to maintain coherence even in the face of challenging circumstances. You can learn to be a consistent attractor field for abundance rather than a sporadic broadcaster of mixed signals. As you continue breathing into your heart, imagine that you're tuning your electromagnetic field like tuning a radio. You're finding the frequency of abundance and locking onto it. You're becoming a clear, consistent broadcaster of prosperity consciousness. Feel how different this is from trying to get money or chase opportunities. Instead of going out into the world with need, you're establishing yourself as a source of coherent energy that naturally attracts what you're aligned with. Your heart's electromagnetic signal is your most authentic prayer, your most honest communication with the universe. And right now, in this moment, you have the power to make that signal a clear transmission of your readiness to receive all that you are capable of experiencing. Every cell in your body carries memory, not just the obvious memories stored in your brain, but cellular memories that run deeper than thought, deeper than emotion, deeper than conscious awareness. These memories influence how you move through the world, how you respond to opportunities, and yes, how you relate to money. Some of these cellular memories serve you. They remember how to heal a cut, how to breathe while you sleep, how to love without thinking about it. But some of these memories hold patterns that limit you, patterns of scarcity, unworthiness, and fear around abundance that were programmed into your cells long before you had the conscious capacity to choose differently. Right now, as you rest here, billions of cells in your body are listening. They're not just listening to my words. They're listening to the quality of energy behind these words, the frequency of possibility that we're creating together. And they're ready to receive new information, new instructions about who you are and what you're capable of receiving. Your cells don't argue with new information the way your mind does. They don't analyze or judge or compare. They simply receive and respond. This is why the state you're in right now, this receptive state between waking and sleeping, is so powerful for cellular reprogramming. Imagine for a moment that you could speak directly to your cells, that you could give them new instructions about abundance. What would you tell them? You might say, remember that you are made of the same elements as stars. Remember that you are animated by the same creative force that grows forests and moves oceans. Remember that lack is not your natural state. Abundance is. Feel these words not just in your mind, but in your body. Let them sink into your tissues, your bones, your bloodstream. Your cells are incredibly intelligent. They know how to take this information and translate it into new patterns of expression, new ways of being that align with prosperity rather than scarcity. There's a cellular memory that many people carry from ancestral experiences of survival, of not having enough, of having to struggle for resources. These memories can be passed down through generations, stored in your DNA as survival programs that activate whenever you encounter situations involving money or security. But here's what's beautiful about cellular memory. It's not fixed. New experiences can create new memories that override old patterns. Tonight, we're creating a new cellular memory of abundance, a new reference point for how it feels to be naturally aligned with prosperity. Breathe deeply and imagine that each breath is carrying new information to every cell in your body. Information about ease instead of struggle. Information about flow instead of force. Information about your natural capacity to receive instead of your imagined need to earn. Your cells want to support you in creating the life you desire. They want to express the highest potential of who you are. But they can only work with the information they receive. If you consistently give them information about scarcity, they'll express scarcity. If you consistently give them information about abundance, they'll express abundance. This is why changing your external circumstances without changing your cellular programming rarely creates lasting change. The old cellular memories eventually reassert themselves, recreating the patterns you were trying to escape. But when you change at the cellular level first, your external world has no choice but to reorganize itself to match your new internal reality. Your cells begin expressing genes associated with growth, creativity, and expansion. Your nervous system shifts into patterns that support abundance rather than survival. As you continue resting here, allow yourself to feel a deep cellular relaxation. Feel your cells releasing old patterns of struggle and opening to new patterns of flow. Feel them remembering their connection to the abundant intelligence that created them. Your cellular memory of wealth is not something you need to create. It's something you need to remember. It's already encoded in your DNA, waiting to be activated by the right frequency, the right state of consciousness, the right quality of self-love and acceptance. Tonight, we're activating that memory. We're helping your cells remember who they really are and what they're truly capable of expressing. Your breath is your most intimate connection to life itself. Right now, as you breathe, you're participating in an exchange with the entire planet. The oxygen you inhale was released by trees and plants around the world. The carbon dioxide you exhale will be absorbed by green growing things, transformed into energy and life. You are not separate from this vast breathing organism that is our Earth. You are part of its respiratory system, part of its circulation, part of its aliveness. And just as you naturally participate in this planetary breathing without effort or striving, you can learn to participate in the natural flow of abundance with the same ease and trust. Most people hold their breath when they think about money. They literally restrict their life force when faced with financial concerns. This breath restriction creates tension throughout the body and sends a signal to the nervous system that resources are scarce, that survival is threatened. But what if you could breathe with money the way you breathe with air? What if you could trust in financial flow the way you trust that your next breath will be available? What if you could receive abundance with the same natural ease that you receive oxygen? Let's explore this together. Take a slow, deep breath and imagine that you're not just breathing air, you're breathing in financial freedom. Not as a concept or a goal, but as a quality of energy that's already available to you, already surrounding you, already ready to be absorbed into your being. Feel this breath of financial freedom filling your lungs, oxygenating your blood, energizing every cell in your body. Notice that you don't have to earn this breath, you don't have to be worthy of it, you don't have to compete for it. It's simply available as part of your natural participation in life. As you exhale, breathe out any tension around money, any anxiety about the future, any beliefs about having to struggle for abundance. Let these old patterns dissolve in your outbreath, released back to the universe to be transformed into something more helpful. Continue this breathing rhythm, inhaling financial freedom, exhaling financial fear. With each breath, you're literally changing the chemistry of your body, shifting from stress hormones that contract your possibilities to relaxation hormones that expand your capacity to receive. Your autonomic nervous system, which controls your breathing, also controls your ability to rest and digest, which includes your ability to integrate new experiences and receive nourishment from your environment. When your breathing is relaxed and deep, you signal to your entire system that it's safe to open, safe to receive, safe to trust in the natural flow of life. Most people breathe shallowly when they're worried about money, creating a state of chronic low-level anxiety that actually repels abundance. But conscious breathing, breathing that's intentional and relaxed, creates an entirely different relationship with receiving. Imagine now that your breath extends beyond your physical body, that your breathing creates a gentle rhythmic expansion and contraction in your energy field. As you inhale, your field of possibility expands, becoming more receptive to opportunities, synchronicities, and abundance. As you exhale, you release anything that's not in alignment with your highest good. This breathing creates what I call a prosperity rhythm in your nervous system, a natural oscillation between receptivity and release that mirrors the fundamental patterns of nature. Rivers breathe in tributaries and breathe out toward oceans. Trees breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. Your financial life can have this same natural rhythm of receiving and giving, taking in and releasing. Feel your body relaxing more deeply with each breath. Feel your relationship with money becoming as natural and effortless as your relationship with air. You don't worry about running out of air because you trust in the endless abundance of atmosphere. Tonight, we're helping you develop that same trust with abundance itself. Breathe in possibility, breathe out limitation. Breathe in your natural capacity to receive. Breathe out the old story that you have to struggle for what you need. Let your breath be a prayer, a meditation, a constant affirmation of your connection to infinite supply. There are patterns in nature that repeat at every scale, from the spiral of galaxies to the spiral of seashells, from the branching of rivers to the branching of your circulatory system. These patterns are called sacred geometry, and they represent the underlying mathematical intelligence that creates and organizes all of life. Prosperity follows these same geometric patterns. Abundance doesn't flow randomly or chaotically. It follows precise natural laws, moving in spirals and waves, expanding and contracting in perfect mathematical harmony. Understanding these patterns can help you align with abundance rather than working against it. Visualize a spiral for a moment. See it in your mind's eye, beginning at the center and expanding outward in ever-widening circles. This is the pattern of growth in nature. Gradual at first, then accelerating as it gains momentum. A nautilus shell grows this way. A galaxy forms this way. Your financial abundance can develop this way too. Most people expect their financial growth to be linear. They want their income to increase steadily month by month in a straight upward line. But natural abundance spirals. It may seem to move slowly at first, building foundation and gathering momentum. Then it accelerates, sometimes dramatically, as it reaches certain thresholds. If you're in a phase where your financial growth seems slow or invisible, you may actually be in the foundational part of the spiral, the part where deep roots are being established, where unseen preparations are being made for the expansion that's coming. Place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. This rhythm, expansion and contraction, systole and diastole, is another fundamental pattern of prosperity. Abundance flows in waves and cycles, in rhythmic pulses that match the deeper patterns of life itself. Your financial life may go through seasons, just like nature. There may be times of planting, times of growing, times of harvesting, and times of rest. Each phase is necessary and sacred. The tree doesn't worry during winter that spring will never come. It trusts in the cycle, knowing that the apparent dormancy is actually a time of deep preparation for new growth. Imagine now that you're floating at the center of a golden spiral of energy. This spiral represents the pattern of abundance that wants to express through your life. See it beginning in your heart and expanding outward, creating ever-widening circles of possibility around you. This spiral connects you to everyone and everything that can support your prosperity. It links you vibrationally to the people, opportunities, and resources that are aligned with your highest good. You don't have to chase or force or manipulate. You simply need to maintain your position at the center of this spiral, trusting in its natural pattern of expansion. The sacred geometry of prosperity also includes the principle of fractals, patterns that repeat at every scale. The abundance that flows through the cosmos flows through your galaxy, through your solar system, through your planet, through your ecosystem, through your community, and through your individual life. You are not separate from this flow. You are a fractal expression of it. When you align with these geometric patterns of abundance, you stop fighting against the natural flow and start moving with it. You recognize that prosperity has its own intelligence, its own timing, its own perfect way of expressing through your unique life circumstances. Feel yourself relaxing into these patterns. Feel yourself trusting the sacred geometry of your own abundance. You don't have to figure out how it will happen or when it will happen. You simply need to align with the mathematical certainty that abundance is always seeking expression through forms that can receive and circulate it. Breathe into this knowing. You are a perfect geometric expression of infinite creative intelligence, and abundance is the natural result of your alignment with your true nature. You carry within your cellular memory not only your own experiences with money, but the experiences of those who came before you. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. All of their beliefs, fears, and patterns around money live in your DNA, influencing your relationship with abundance in ways you may never have consciously recognized. These ancestral patterns can be powerful. Perhaps your grandmother lived through the Great Depression and learned that money was scarce and had to be hoarded. Perhaps your grandfather worked multiple jobs and believed that the only way to have money was through exhausting labor. Perhaps your parents fought about money and unconsciously taught you that financial security and love couldn't coexist. These aren't just memories or stories. They're energetic imprints that can influence your nervous system, your decision-making, and your ability to receive abundance. But here's what's beautiful. Just as you inherited these patterns, you can transform them. You can be the one in your ancestral line who breaks the cycle of financial struggle and creates a new pattern of prosperity for future generations. Imagine for a moment that you can see your ancestral line stretching behind you, all the people whose DNA contributed to your existence. See them not as separate individuals, but as part of your extended energetic family. Notice that some of them may have carried wounds around money, fears about survival, beliefs about having to struggle for resources. Send love to these ancestors. Thank them for their sacrifices, for their strength, for doing the best they could with the consciousness they had. But let them know that you're ready to carry a different frequency forward, that you're ready to heal the ancestral wound around money and transform it into ancestral wisdom around abundance. Breathe deeply and imagine that each breath is sending healing energy backward through your ancestral line. Feel this healing energy touching every ancestor who ever worried about money, who ever felt shame around finances, who ever believed they weren't worthy of abundance. As you continue breathing, imagine that you're also sending this healing energy forward through your ancestral line to your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, whether they exist yet or not. You're establishing a new pattern, a new frequency, a new possibility for all those who will come after you. This healing doesn't require you to understand the specific details of your ancestral money wounds. Your DNA holds all the information it needs. Your cells know exactly which patterns need to be transformed. You simply need to hold the intention for healing and allow your body's innate intelligence to do the work. Feel yourself as a bridge between the past and the future, a point of transformation in your family's relationship with abundance. The financial struggles that may have plagued your family line for generations can end with you. The new pattern of prosperity that you establish can influence your entire ancestral field. Sometimes when you begin to change your relationship with money, you may feel resistance, not just from your own fears, but from the ancestral field that's accustomed to struggle. This is normal. Change can feel threatening to systems that have been stable for a long time, even if that stability was based on limitation. But you can move through this resistance with compassion and determination. You can honor the ancestral patterns while choosing something different for yourself. You can carry forward the wisdom and strength of your ancestors while releasing the limitations and fears. As you rest here tonight, feel yourself surrounded by the loving presence of all your ancestors who want to see you thrive. Feel their support for your journey toward financial freedom. Feel their gratitude that someone in their lineage is brave enough to transform old patterns and create new possibilities. You are not healing just for yourself. You are healing for everyone who came before you and everyone who will come after you. You are the one who says yes to abundance on behalf of your entire ancestral line. Most people think of their bank account as separate from themselves, as something external that they need to fill through effort and strategy. But what if I told you that you have another kind of bank account, one that's far more powerful than any financial institution? This is your vibrational bank account, and it's the account that determines what shows up in your external reality. Your vibrational bank account contains deposits of every positive emotion you've ever felt, every moment of gratitude you've experienced, every instance of love, joy, appreciation, and inner peace you've cultivated. These aren't just fleeting experiences. They're actual deposits of coherent energy that accumulate in your field and compound over time, creating an energetic wealth that attracts corresponding experiences in your physical reality. Right now, as you rest here, you have the opportunity to make a significant deposit into your vibrational bank account, not through doing anything, but through being something, through aligning with the feeling of already having what you desire, through cultivating the inner state that matches your intended outer reality. Your vibrational bank account operates on different principles than your financial bank account. You can't overdraw it, there are no fees, and the interest compounds exponentially rather than linearly. Every moment of genuine gratitude you feel multiplies itself. Every instant of authentic appreciation creates resonance with more experiences worthy of appreciation. Most people try to fill their financial bank account, while their vibrational bank account remains empty or overdrawn with worry, fear, and scarcity thinking. This creates a fundamental mismatch that makes sustainable abundance nearly impossible. You're trying to create wealth from a state of poverty consciousness, but when you focus on building wealth in your vibrational account first, your external account begins to mirror that inner abundance automatically. The universe doesn't respond to your words or even your actions. It responds to your vibrational signature, the energetic frequency you're consistently broadcasting. Take a moment now to check your current vibrational balance. How are you feeling about money right now? Are you depositing energy of trust and expectancy, or are you withdrawing energy through worry and doubt? Are you investing in feelings that attract abundance, or are you spending your emotional currency on scenarios that repel prosperity? Imagine that you can see your vibrational bank account as clearly as you see your financial one. What does the balance look like? What kinds of deposits have you been making lately? What withdrawals might be depleting your energetic wealth? Now, let's make a substantial deposit together. Think of something in your life that you genuinely appreciate. Perhaps your health, your home, a relationship, even just the fact that your heart is beating right now. Feel that appreciation not just as a thought, but as a warm, expanding sensation in your chest. This feeling of appreciation is pure vibrational currency. It's energy that immediately increases your balance in the universal bank of abundance. The more genuine the feeling, the larger the deposit. The longer you sustain it, the more interest it earns. As you continue to feel this appreciation, imagine that it's radiating outward from your heart, creating ripples in the quantum field around you. These ripples carry information about your readiness to receive, your openness to abundance, your alignment with prosperity consciousness. Your vibrational bank account is always open, always accessible, always ready to receive deposits. You don't have to wait until you have more money to feel abundant. You don't have to wait until your circumstances change to feel grateful. You can make deposits right now, regardless of your external situation. And here's the beautiful truth about vibrational wealth. The more you spend it, the more you have. Every time you share your positive energy, every time you approach life from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, every time you give from joy rather than obligation, you're actually increasing your vibrational balance rather than depleting it. Feel yourself now as someone who is vibrationally wealthy, someone whose inner account is overflowing with good feelings, positive expectations, and unshakable trust in your ability to receive. Feel how this inner wealth naturally attracts external wealth, not through force or manipulation, but through simple vibrational alignment. Your vibrational bank account is the real foundation of lasting prosperity. Build it with intention. Invest in it daily. Watch it compound into a frequency that magnetizes abundance from every direction. Your body knows how to receive. Every moment, without conscious effort, you're receiving oxygen from the atmosphere, nutrients from your food, warmth from the sun, and countless other gifts that sustain your life. Receiving is not something you need to learn. It's something you need to remember and allow. But when it comes to money and abundance, many people's bodies become contracted and resistant. They literally create a biological state that repels what they're trying to attract. Their nervous system interprets abundance as a threat rather than a gift, activating survival mechanisms that close them off from receiving. This biological resistance often stems from old programming that equates receiving with vulnerability, with owing something to someone, with being in debt or under obligation. Your body may have learned to associate receiving with danger, and so it automatically creates tension and barriers whenever opportunities for abundance appear. Tonight, we're going to reprogram your biology for receiving. We're going to teach your nervous system that abundance is safe, that receiving is natural, that you can open to prosperity without losing your power or autonomy. Place both hands on your belly and feel your breath moving in and out. This is where your enteric nervous system is located, what scientists call your second brain. This gut brain processes emotions and makes intuitive decisions faster than your thinking mind. And right now, we're going to give it new information about receiving. Imagine that your belly is like a soft, receptive bowl, perfectly designed to receive whatever the universe wants to pour into it. Feel your abdominal muscles relaxing, your intestines softening, your entire core becoming spacious and welcoming. Most people hold tension in their belly when they think about money, a protective contraction that says, "I need to guard against scarcity." But this very tension blocks the flow they're trying to create. It's like closing your mouth while trying to drink water. Breathe into your belly and consciously relax any tension you find there. With each exhale, let your core become softer, more open, more receptive. You're teaching your body that it's safe to receive, safe to be open, safe to trust in the flow of abundance. Your cells have receptors, specialized proteins that receive and respond to chemical messages. These receptors literally determine what your cells can receive from their environment. When you're in a state of stress or contraction, your receptors become less sensitive, less able to receive nourishment and positive information. But when you're in a state of relaxation and openness, your receptors become highly sensitive and receptive. They can receive subtle energies, synchronicities, and opportunities that would be invisible to a contracted nervous system. You literally become biologically equipped to perceive and receive abundance. Feel your entire body now as a receiving organism, perfectly designed to extract what you need from your environment. Your skin receives warmth and light. Your lungs receive oxygen. Your digestive system receives nutrients. Your nervous system receives information. You are a masterpiece of receptivity, a biological miracle designed for receiving. And just as your body knows how to receive physical nourishment, it can learn to receive energetic nourishment, the frequencies of love, abundance, opportunity, and support that are always available in your environment, but often unperceived by a contracted system. Imagine now that there's a gentle flow of abundant energy surrounding you, like a warm, golden river of possibility. Your body is designed to receive from this flow, to extract what it needs for your highest good. You don't have to force or chase or grab. You simply have to remain open and allow your natural receptivity to function. Feel yourself becoming more and more receptive with each breath. Feel your biology aligning with abundance. Feel your cells opening to receive the gifts that life is always offering. You are not meant to struggle for what you need. You are meant to receive it with the same natural ease that you receive your next breath. There is a current of energy that moves through all of life, a cosmic river that carries intelligence, creativity, and resources wherever they're needed. Indigenous peoples have always known about this flow. Ancient wisdom traditions have mapped its patterns. Modern physics is beginning to understand its mechanics. This universal flow is not separate from you. You are not struggling against it or trying to redirect it toward yourself. You are an expression of it, a temporary configuration of its infinite creativity. The question is not whether this flow exists or whether it includes you. It always does. The question is whether you're aligned with it or resistant to it. When you're aligned with universal flow, life feels effortless. Opportunities appear naturally. Resources show up when you need them. People enter your life who can help you in ways you never expected. Synchronicities become common. You stop pushing against life and start dancing with it. But when you're resistant to this flow, when you're trying to control outcomes, force results, or make things happen through will alone, life feels like struggle. You work harder, but accomplish less. You chase opportunities, but they slip away. You feel like you're swimming upstream in a river that wants to carry you home. Right now, imagine that you can feel this universal flow as a gentle current of energy moving through your body. It enters through the crown of your head, flows through your heart, and circulates through every cell before radiating outward through your electromagnetic field. You are not separate from this flow. You are a conscious participant in its movement. Most people resist this flow without realizing it. They have agendas about how abundance should appear, timelines for when it should arrive, and specific forms it should take. This resistance creates turbulence in their energy field, like rocks in a river that create rapids and eddies instead of smooth flow. But what if you could trust this flow completely? What if you could release your need to control how your abundance manifests and instead align with the intelligence that orchestrates galaxies and grows forests? What if you could move from effort to allowing, from forcing to following? Feel your breath as an expression of this universal flow. You don't control your breathing, it happens through you. You don't force your heart to beat, it beats through you. In the same way, abundance can flow through you when you stop trying to be its director and start being its vessel. This doesn't mean becoming passive or inactive. Flow requires both movement and surrender, both intention and allowing. A river flows because it follows the path of least resistance while maintaining clear direction toward its destination. Your abundance can flow the same way. Purposeful but not forced, directed but not controlled. Imagine that you're releasing any need to micromanage your financial life, any desire to force specific outcomes or timelines. Instead, you're opening to something far more intelligent than your personal will. The same intelligence that knows how to transform a seed into a tree, how to organize 1 trillion cells into a human body, how to maintain the precise orbital mechanics that keep planets in their paths. This intelligence knows exactly what you need, when you need it, and how to deliver it in perfect timing. Your job is not to figure out the details, but to align with the flow, to maintain the inner state that allows abundance to move through you, as naturally as breath moves through your lungs. Feel yourself now as a clear channel for universal flow, a conscious participant in the cosmic circulation of energy and resources. Feel the ease of moving with this flow rather than against it. Feel the relief of trusting in something infinitely wiser than your worried mind. You are not separate from the source of all abundance. You are not competing for limited resources. You are part of an infinite creative intelligence expressing itself through countless forms, and abundance is simply one of those forms seeking expression through your unique life. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling or a spiritual practice. It's a powerful technology for transformation, a vibrational key that unlocks doors to abundance that remain invisible to ungrateful consciousness. When you feel genuine gratitude, you literally change the electromagnetic field around your heart, creating coherence throughout your entire body-mind system. But most people approach gratitude backward. They think they'll be grateful when they have more money, when their circumstances improve, when their problems are solved. This keeps them locked in a vibrational pattern of waiting, of depending on external conditions for their internal state. True gratitude, the kind that transforms your reality, begins now with what already is. It's not gratitude for having everything you want, but gratitude for being alive in this moment, for having a consciousness capable of choice, for existing in a universe where transformation is always possible. Place your attention on your heart and begin to generate a feeling of appreciation for something simple. Perhaps the fact that your heart has been beating faithfully for every moment of your life, without you having to consciously control it. Feel genuine appreciation for this biological miracle. As this feeling of appreciation grows stronger, notice how it affects your entire being. Your breathing naturally deepens, your muscles relax, your mind becomes clearer and more peaceful. This is the coherent state that makes you naturally magnetic to positive experiences. Now, expand this appreciation to include your current financial situation, exactly as it is right now. This might feel challenging at first, especially if you're struggling with money, but gratitude doesn't mean being happy about problems. It means appreciating the opportunity for growth, the potential for change, the fact that you're conscious enough to recognize that transformation is possible. Be grateful that you have a nervous system capable of reprogramming itself. Be grateful that you live in a quantum universe where new possibilities are always emerging. Be grateful that you found your way to this moment of intentional alignment with abundance. Gratitude creates a vibrational bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you're truly grateful for what you have, you signal to the universe that you're ready to receive more. When you appreciate your current circumstances, you demonstrate the consciousness that can handle greater abundance responsibly. Feel this gratitude radiating outward from your heart like ripples in a pond. Each wave of appreciation touches people, opportunities, and resources in your environment, creating resonance with experiences that match this elevated emotional frequency. Your gratitude doesn't just affect you, it affects the entire field of consciousness around you. People can feel when someone is genuinely appreciative, and they naturally want to give more to that person. Opportunities gravitate toward grateful consciousness because gratitude signals readiness to receive and steward resources wisely. This is why wealthy people often say that gratitude was the foundation of their success. Not gratitude as a technique or strategy, but gratitude as a way of being. a fundamental appreciation for life that creates a natural magnetism for abundance. Imagine now that your gratitude is opening gateways in the quantum field, portals through which abundance can flow more easily into your experience. See these gateways as doorways of light surrounding you, each one opened by a genuine feeling of appreciation. The more grateful you become, the more gateways open. The more gateways that open, the more abundance can flow. This creates an upward spiral where appreciation leads to more experiences worthy of appreciation, which leads to deeper gratitude, which opens even more pathways for receiving. Feel yourself now as someone who lives in constant appreciation, someone who finds reasons to be grateful regardless of external circumstances. Feel how this quality of consciousness naturally attracts people who want to support you, opportunities that align with your highest good, and resources that flow toward grateful hearts. Gratitude is not just what you feel, it's who you are. And who you are determines what you attract, what you perceive, and what you're able to receive from the infinite abundance that always surrounds you. Every person has a story about money, a narrative that was written in childhood, reinforced through experience, and now runs like background software influencing every financial decision. This story operates mostly below conscious awareness, yet it has tremendous power to shape your reality. Your current money story might sound something like, "Money is hard to come by. I'm not good with finances. Rich people are greedy. I don't deserve abundance." Or, "There's never enough." These aren't necessarily conscious thoughts. They're deeper beliefs that drive your behavior and create your financial experiences. Tonight, you have the opportunity to rewrite your money story completely, not by fighting against the old story, but by consciously authoring a new one from the expanded awareness you're cultivating in this receptive state. Your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your behavior, thinks in stories and images. It responds more powerfully to narrative and metaphor than to logical arguments or positive affirmations. This is why simply telling yourself, "I am wealthy," often doesn't work. It contradicts the deeper story your subconscious is running. But when you create a new story that feels authentic and emotionally compelling, your subconscious begins to organize your behavior, perceptions, and experiences around that new narrative. You literally begin living a different story about money. Close your eyes and imagine that you're looking back on your life from many years in the future. From this perspective, you can see that your current financial situation was not a permanent condition, but a temporary phase, a chapter in a much larger story of abundance and prosperity. In this new story, you recognize that you were always meant to be financially free. You understand that any struggles with money were not punishments but preparations, not failures, but foundations for the wealth that was always your birthright. See yourself in this new story as someone who naturally attracts opportunities, who makes wise decisions with money, who receives abundance easily and shares it generously. See yourself as someone who understands that money is simply energy, and energy always seeks the path of least resistance toward conscious, grateful recipients. In this story, you remember that you are not separate from the creative intelligence that manifests galaxies. You are not competing for limited resources, but are instead a unique expression of unlimited creative potential. Money flows to you not because you need it, but because you're aligned with it. Not because you chase it, but because you embody the consciousness that naturally magnetizes it. Feel this new story taking root in your imagination. Feel how different it is from the old narrative of struggle and scarcity. Notice how this new story makes you feel. More relaxed, more confident, more open to possibilities. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you repeatedly immerse yourself in this new money story, especially in this receptive state between waking and sleeping, your nervous system begins to believe it's true. Your cells begin to express genes consistent with this new identity. The old story was never really yours anyway. It was a collection of other people's beliefs, cultural programming, and survival-based fears that you absorbed before you had the capacity to choose consciously. Now you're old enough, wise enough, and conscious enough to author your own story. In your new money story, you're not the victim of economic circumstances, but the creator of financial experiences. You're not at the mercy of external forces, but aligned with internal power. You don't have a problematic relationship with money. You have a natural, easy, flowing relationship with abundance itself. Breathe deeply and feel this new story integrating into your cellular memory. Feel it becoming not just a nice idea, but your new reality template. Feel your entire being reorganizing itself around this upgraded narrative about who you are and what you're capable of experiencing with money. This is not fantasy or wishful thinking. This is conscious creation, deliberate programming of your most powerful operating system to support your highest possibilities. Every successful person carries a distinct energetic signature, a quality of presence, a way of being in the world that naturally attracts opportunities, resources, and support. This signature is not about external behaviors or strategies. It's about the internal state that generates authentic success. This energetic signature can be cultivated. It's not something you're born with or without. It's something you develop through aligning your thoughts, emotions, and cellular patterns with the frequency of authentic prosperity. The signature of success includes several key elements: unshakable self-worth that doesn't depend on external validation, calm confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes, genuine curiosity about possibilities rather than desperate attachment to specific outcomes, and natural generosity that flows from internal abundance rather than obligation. Right now, as you rest here, you have the opportunity to begin cultivating this signature. You can start embodying the energetic qualities that successful people naturally express, not by copying their behaviors, but by aligning with the consciousness that creates those behaviors. Feel yourself settling more deeply into a sense of your own inherent worth. Not worth that you need to prove or earn, but worth that simply exists because you exist. This is the foundation of the success signature, knowing that you are valuable not because of what you do or have, but because of who you are. From this foundation of self-worth, allow a quality of calm confidence to emerge. This is not arrogance or bravado, but quiet certainty in your ability to learn, grow, and navigate whatever challenges or opportunities arise. Feel this confidence as a warm, steady presence in your solar plexus. Successful people don't worry about whether they deserve good things. They assume they do. They don't question whether opportunities will come. They expect them to. They don't wonder if they can handle prosperity. They know they can. This is not blind optimism, but educated expectancy, based on understanding how energy and consciousness work. Breathe into this feeling of deserving good things. Feel what it's like to expect positive outcomes, not because you've earned them through suffering, but because you're aligned with the frequency that naturally attracts them. Feel yourself becoming someone who assumes that life is on their side, that the universe is conspiring for their benefit. The energetic signature of success also includes a quality of relaxed non-attachment. Successful people want things, but they don't need things. They have preferences, but they don't have desperate requirements. They're excited about possibilities, but they're not anxious about outcomes. This non-attachment actually makes them more magnetic to what they want, because neediness repels abundance, while relaxed desire attracts it. When you need something desperately, you broadcast the frequency of lack. When you want something from a place of already feeling whole, you broadcast the frequency of abundance. Feel yourself wanting financial prosperity, but not needing it for your happiness or sense of worth. Feel yourself excited about opportunities, but not anxious about their timing or form. Feel yourself becoming someone who can hold intentions powerfully while remaining unattached to how they manifest. Another quality of the success signature is natural generosity, not forced giving from obligation, but spontaneous sharing from overflow. Successful people understand that giving and receiving are the same energy moving in different directions, and they keep both directions flowing freely. Feel yourself as someone who gives easily because you receive easily, who shares abundantly because you know abundance is infinite. Feel the generosity that comes from understanding that you are not separate from the source of all wealth, that everything you give away returns to you multiplied. As you continue breathing, imagine this energetic signature becoming stronger and more stable in your being. Imagine carrying this quality of presence into all your interactions with money, with opportunities, with other people. Imagine being known for this signature of calm confidence, natural generosity, and relaxed expectancy. This is not something you need to perform or pretend. It's something you remember and embody. This is who you truly are, beneath the layers of conditioning and fear. This is your authentic success signature waiting to be activated and expressed. In the quantum realm, particles that have interacted remain mysteriously connected regardless of the distance between them. When one particle changes its state, its entangled partner instantly responds, even if they're separated by vast distances. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, but modern physicists understand it as one of the fundamental properties of quantum mechanics. You are quantum entangled with abundance. At the deepest level of reality, you are not separate from wealth, prosperity, or any form of abundance. You are connected to every resource, every opportunity, every possibility through the invisible threads of quantum connection that weave through all of existence. This entanglement was established at the moment of your birth into this universe. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star. Every element that composes your physical form was created through cosmic processes of incredible abundance. You are literally made of the same stuff as galaxies, and galaxies are expressions of infinite creative intelligence. But this quantum entanglement with abundance can become obscured by limiting beliefs, contracted emotions, and identification with scarcity. When you believe you are separate from abundance, you create interference patterns in your quantum field that make it difficult for the natural flow of prosperity to reach you. Tonight, we're going to clear these interference patterns and strengthen your quantum entanglement with abundance. We're going to help you remember and feel your fundamental connection to infinite creative intelligence. Imagine that you can see the quantum threads that connect you to every form of abundance in the universe. See these as streams of light extending from your heart to every resource you could ever need, every opportunity that could ever serve you, every person who could ever support your highest good. These connections are not something you need to create. They already exist. They are part of the fabric of reality itself. Your task is not to establish these connections, but to clear away anything that interferes with your ability to perceive and receive through them. Breathe deeply, and imagine that each breath is strengthening these quantum connections. With each inhale, you're drawing energy and information through these invisible channels. With each exhale, you're sending out coherent signals that make it easier for abundance to find its way to you. Quantum entanglement operates instantaneously, beyond the limitations of space and time. This means that when you shift your internal state toward abundance, the universe responds immediately, even though the external manifestations might take time to organize themselves in your three-dimensional reality. Right now, as you align with abundance consciousness, you're sending ripples through the quantum field that will eventually reorganize as positive changes in your external circumstances. People you haven't met yet are being influenced to move in directions that will bring them into your life. Opportunities that don't yet exist are beginning to organize themselves around your new vibrational frequency. Feel yourself as a node in the infinite web of quantum connections that is reality itself. Feel your entanglement with every form of prosperity, every expression of abundance, every manifestation of creative intelligence. You are not a separate individual trying to attract abundance from outside yourself. You are abundance expressing itself temporarily in human form. This quantum perspective dissolves the illusion that you need to earn abundance or prove your worthiness of prosperity. Quantum entanglement doesn't judge or evaluate. It simply connects and responds. Your connection to infinite abundance is as natural and automatic as your connection to the air you breathe, or the gravity that holds you to the earth. From this quantum perspective, financial struggle is simply a case of mistaken identity, forgetting who you really are and what you're truly connected to. Prosperity is not something you attract from outside yourself, but something you allow to express through yourself by remembering your quantum entanglement with infinite creative intelligence. Rest in this knowing. You are quantum entangled with abundance at the deepest level of reality. This connection is permanent, unbreakable, and always available to express through your life in whatever forms best serve your highest good and the highest good of all. As you begin to drift toward sleep, you're entering one of the most powerful states of consciousness for transformation. In sleep, your conscious mind, with all its doubts and limitations, steps aside, allowing your subconscious mind to integrate new patterns and possibilities without interference. During the next several hours, while your body rests, your subconscious will be actively reorganizing itself around everything we've explored together tonight. It will be weaving these new understandings about abundance into the fabric of your cellular memory, creating new neural pathways that support prosperity instead of struggle. Your subconscious mind is like a garden, and tonight we've been planting seeds of abundance consciousness. In sleep, these seeds will be watered by the deep regenerative processes of your body and mind. They'll begin to sprout in the fertile darkness of your unconscious, growing into new beliefs, new patterns, new ways of being that will naturally express as greater financial flow in your waking life. Allow yourself to sleep with the feeling of already being abundant. Not abundant in the future when your goals are achieved, but abundant right now, in this moment, as a quality of your being rather than a condition of your circumstances. Feel abundance as a warm, golden energy flowing through your body as you sleep. Let this energy circulate through your nervous system, reprogramming old patterns of scarcity and installing new patterns of prosperity. Let it flow through your heart, establishing coherent rhythms that will attract abundance throughout your dreams and into your waking hours. Your sleep tonight will be different from other nights. Your dreams may carry messages about opportunities, insights about your next steps, or simply the feeling of being supported by invisible forces that are always working on your behalf. Trust whatever comes. Your subconscious knows exactly what you need. In sleep, you'll be doing profound work at levels of consciousness that your thinking mind cannot access. You'll be communicating with aspects of yourself that hold the power to transform your reality from the inside out. You'll be aligning with the deepest currents of your being, where true abundance has always existed. Some nights you may wake with clear inspiration about actions to take or decisions to make. Other nights you may simply wake feeling different, more confident, more peaceful, more naturally aligned with prosperity. Both are signs that the deep work of transformation is happening. As you sleep, your cells will be producing the proteins and hormones associated with growth, healing, and expansion rather than stress, contraction, and survival. Your nervous system will be integrating patterns of abundance at the biological level, creating a physical foundation for the prosperity consciousness we've been cultivating. Your electromagnetic field will continue broadcasting the coherent signals of abundance throughout the night, attracting to you people, opportunities, and circumstances that match this elevated frequency. While you sleep, the universe will be reorganizing itself around your new vibrational signature. Let go of any need to figure out how your abundance will manifest or when it will appear. Release any attachment to specific forms or timelines. Your subconscious and the universal intelligence that guides it know exactly how to orchestrate the perfect unfolding of your prosperity. Sleep with gratitude for all that you've received today and all that you're in the process of receiving. Sleep with trust in the invisible forces that are always working to support your highest good. Sleep with the peaceful knowing that abundance is your natural state, and you're simply returning to what has always been true about you. There exists a version of you in the future who has already achieved the financial freedom you're seeking. This future self has learned the lessons, made the changes, and embodied the consciousness that naturally creates and maintains abundance. Tonight, as you rest in this liminal space between conscious and unconscious, you can connect with this future self and receive their wisdom. This is not fantasy or wishful thinking. This is accessing information from probability fields that exist in quantum potential. Your future abundant self is as real as your current self, existing in the timeless dimension of consciousness, where all possibilities coexist. Imagine now that you can sense the presence of this future self, the you who no longer worries about money, who makes financial decisions from wisdom rather than fear, who receives and shares abundance as naturally as breathing. Feel their peaceful confidence, their relaxed certainty, their natural magnetism for prosperity. What would this future self want to tell you about your current financial situation? Listen with your heart rather than your mind. The guidance may come as words, images, feelings, or simple knowing. Trust whatever emerges. Perhaps your future self wants to reassure you that the struggles you're experiencing now are temporary, that they're actually preparing you for the level of abundance that's coming. Maybe they want to remind you that your worth has never been in question, that you've always deserved prosperity, and that learning to receive it is simply a matter of remembering rather than achieving. Your future abundant self might want to share that the key to their success was not found in strategies or techniques, but in learning to trust the process, to align with their authentic nature, to stop fighting against the natural flow of abundance and start dancing with it instead. Feel the love that this future self has for you, the current version who is bravely walking the path toward financial freedom. Feel their deep appreciation for your willingness to grow, to change, to remain open to new possibilities, even when the way forward isn't clear. Notice that this future self doesn't judge your current financial situation or criticize the choices that brought you here. They understand that every experience has been necessary for your development, that even the struggles have been serving your highest good by building the character and wisdom needed to handle greater abundance responsibly. Ask your future self what daily practices would most support your journey toward financial freedom. The answer might surprise you. It may have less to do with money management strategies and more to do with energy management, consciousness cultivation, and maintaining alignment with your authentic nature. Your future abundant self knows that true wealth is an inside job, that external financial success is simply the natural result of internal abundance consciousness. They've learned that trying to create wealth without first becoming wealthy in spirit is like trying to grow a tree from the branches down instead of the roots up. Feel yourself receiving their energy, their frequency, their way of being in the world. Allow their confidence to become your confidence, their trust to become your trust, their natural expectancy of good things to become your natural expectancy. This connection with your future self is not limited to this moment. You can return to this communion anytime you need guidance, reassurance, or inspiration. They are always available because they are you, just at a different point in your eternal journey of becoming. As you prepare to sleep, carry with you the knowing that your financial transformation is not a matter of if, but when. Your future abundant self already exists, and with each choice aligned with prosperity consciousness, you're stepping more fully into that version of yourself. We've traveled together through landscapes of consciousness that most people never explore. We've examined your beliefs, cleared ancestral patterns, aligned with cosmic flows, and connected with the quantum field of infinite possibility. Now it's time to integrate all of these elements into a coherent whole that will guide your financial life from this moment forward. Integration is not about remembering everything we've discussed or trying to implement multiple techniques. Integration is about allowing all of these understandings to merge into a new way of being, a new operating system for your consciousness that naturally creates prosperity. Feel all the various pieces coming together now. Your reprogrammed cellular memory, your aligned electromagnetic field, your connection to universal flow, your quantum entanglement with abundance, your activated future self. Notice how they're not separate elements but facets of one jewel, aspects of your unified, abundant nature. This integration is happening automatically at levels deeper than thought. Your nervous system is weaving together new patterns that will express as more confidence in financial decisions, greater intuition about opportunities, and a natural magnetism for people and resources that can support your prosperity. You don't need to effort or strain to make this integration happen. Like a cut healing or a plant growing, it's an organic process guided by intelligence far greater than your conscious mind. Your job is simply to rest, to allow, to trust in the natural wisdom of your body and consciousness. As this integration deepens, you may notice subtle changes in how you feel about money, how you approach financial decisions, how you respond to opportunities. You may find yourself naturally gravitating toward choices that support abundance, automatically avoiding patterns that create scarcity. The old programs that used to run your financial life, the fears, the limitations, the scarcity patterns, are not being fought or forced out. They're simply being replaced by new programs that are more aligned with your true nature. Like updating software on a computer, the old code is overwritten by superior code that functions more effectively. This new financial operating system is based on trust rather than fear, on alignment rather than struggle, on receiving rather than chasing. It recognizes that you are not separate from abundance, but are abundance expressing itself in temporary human form. Feel this new operating system coming online now. Feel how different it is from the old patterns of worry, effort, and desperation. Feel how much more peaceful and confident this new way of being feels in your body. This integration will continue long after you've forgotten the specific words we've shared tonight. It will work in your dreams, in your quiet moments, in the spaces between thoughts. Like a river carving a new channel, it will gradually but persistently reshape the landscape of your financial reality. Trust this process completely. Your consciousness knows exactly how to integrate these new patterns in ways that serve your highest good. Your subconscious knows exactly how to express this new abundance consciousness through your unique life circumstances. You've planted seeds tonight that will continue growing for years to come. You've initiated changes at the deepest level of your being that will ripple outward into every area of your financial life. You've remembered who you truly are beneath the temporary costumes of limitation and struggle. Rest now in the peaceful knowing that the work is done. The seeds are planted. The integration is happening. Your abundant future is not just possible. It's inevitable because it's the natural expression of who you've always been. And now we come to the most profound truth of all, the understanding that will carry you forward long after these words fade from memory. You are not becoming abundant. You are remembering that you have always been abundant. You are not attracting wealth from somewhere outside yourself. You are allowing the wealth that is your true nature to express itself through your life. This moment is not about transformation, but about recognition. Not about earning, but about accepting. Not about changing who you are, but about remembering who you have always been beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and forgetting. Feel yourself letting go now of any remaining effort, any last traces of trying to make something happen. Feel yourself surrendering not to circumstances or other people, but to your own abundant nature. Feel yourself relaxing into the truth that has been waiting patiently for you to acknowledge it. You are wealthy, not in the future when you have more money, but right now, in this moment. As a fundamental quality of your being, you are wealthy in consciousness, wealthy in possibility, wealthy in your capacity to create and receive and share. This wealth is not dependent on your bank account. It's the source from which all external wealth flows. Breathe into this recognition. Let it fill every cell of your body. Let it become not just something you know, but something you are. Feel your cells relaxing as they remember their wealthy nature. Feel your nervous system settling as it recognizes its natural state of abundance. This wealthy nature of yours has never been in question, never been in doubt, never been at risk. It has remained constant through every financial challenge you've faced, every moment of worry about money, every experience of scarcity. It has been the unchanging foundation beneath all the changing circumstances of your financial life. When you truly surrender to this wealthy nature, something magical happens. You stop chasing abundance and start embodying it. You stop trying to attract prosperity and start being prosperity. You stop seeking financial freedom and start living from financial freedom. From this place of surrender, your actions become effortless expressions of your abundant nature, rather than desperate attempts to create what you think you lack. Your decisions arise from wisdom rather than fear. Your choices support your prosperity automatically, because they emerge from prosperity consciousness. Feel yourself surrendering any remaining attachment to specific outcomes, timelines, or forms of abundance. Not because these things don't matter, but because your attachment to them actually interferes with their natural flow toward you. When you need abundance desperately, you repel it. When you allow it naturally, you magnetize it. This surrender is not passive or resigned. It's the most powerful stance you can take because it aligns you with forces far greater than your individual will. It connects you to the same intelligence that grows forests, moves planets, and orchestrates the perfect timing of countless interconnected systems. As you surrender to your wealthy nature, you become a clear channel for abundance to flow through your life in whatever forms best serve your highest good and the highest good of all. You stop trying to control the flow and start trusting the intelligence that guides it. Feel this trust filling your being now. Trust in your inherent worthiness. Trust in the universe's abundant nature. Trust in the perfect timing of all manifestations. Trust in your ability to handle whatever level of prosperity wants to express through your life. This trust is not blind faith, but educated confidence based on understanding how consciousness and reality interact. You've learned tonight that your inner state creates your outer experience, that your vibration determines your reality, that your being is the source of all your having. From this place of surrender and trust, sleep comes easily, rest comes naturally. Peace pervades your being because you're no longer fighting against yourself, no longer resisting your own abundant nature, no longer trying to become something you already are. As you drift into sleep, carry with you this final knowing: you are inherently, unquestionably, eternally wealthy. This wealth is not something you might achieve or could lose. It's something you are at the core of your being. It's your birthright, your nature, your truth. Let this knowing be the last conscious thought before sleep takes you, and let it be the first truth that greets you when you wake. You are abundant. You have always been abundant. You will always be abundant. This is not hope or aspiration. This is recognition of what has always been true. Sleep now, wealthy one. Dream from your abundant nature. Wake tomorrow as someone who has remembered the truth about themselves. Your external financial life will reorganize itself to match this inner recognition in perfect timing and perfect ways. The energy of money responds to your inner state, and your inner state is now aligned with the wealth that you are. Rest in this knowing. Surrender to this truth. Allow your abundant nature to express itself through your life with ever greater ease and flow. You are wealthy. You have always been wealthy. You will always be wealthy. This is your nature, your truth, your reality. Sweet dreams, abundant soul, sweet dreams.